Hey guys, and welcome in this new tip in our digital classroom series. Now these are the smaller tips. We normally shoot these tips during our workshops. We shoot a lighting setup, and I'm just going to explain you in these tips what the idea was behind it. Now today we're going to talk about expressions. Now, for me, when I find a new model, it's always important that I just don't find a pretty girl. Of course, they have to look awesome, but I also want a model that has expression, that really can deliver a message. Because let's be honest, just a model in front of a pretty backdrop, that's gonna be pretty boring very fast. So we want something that is able to, lift our viewer up to that storytelling part. And a great model will do this. So for this setup, we're using Claudia and a chair. And the idea was, she went shopping, she got great clothing, she went out clubbing, and it just didn't work out. So she came home, a little bit of a rundown makeup, and she's a little bit sad, of course. Now, when you look at those images, you can see that Claudia is a great model with expressions. And that also means that working with Claudia, for example, is a lot of fun because every time it's different. And that's the biggest tip of today. Find models that will literally just push you creatively, but also are very flexible with their expressions. So let's take a look at this setup. It's actually a pretty easy setup and one I use a lot. I'm using a harsh light on our model via a small softbox, preferably even with a grid to really narrow that beam of light on our model. Now, if you want a little bit more detail in your shadows, it's very easy to do. We call this light in light. Always have a big softbox on standby or an umbrella. It doesn't really matter as long as it's an omnidirectional light source that you can aim, for example, at the ceiling or aim at your model under the same angle as your main strobe, and it will just open up the shadows very, very slightly. You could see it as a sort of shadow slider in Photoshop or in Lightroom. In other words, you have your main light on F11, you find the shadows a little bit too dark, and then you use that second light to just open up those shadows. You do have to remeter the face, because if you open up the shadows a little bit too much, of course your main light will also get a little bit more light and you will blow out your highlights. So let's take a look at the setup. As you can see here, small softbox aimed at our model with a grid, and after that it's up to the model to do all her poses and expressions. So, if you like this tip about expressions, choosing your models, and of course a little bit of lighting, let us know in the comments below. And if you have a question you want answered in the next episode of Digital Classroom, post them below and maybe you will see your question in the next video. Of course, like and subscribe and tell other people about our channel so we can grow. See you again next time. Bye guys.